Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Quick question. Are they actually gonna do something with Terry and Chad? The reason why I'm sitting saying that is because, I when I go on Instagram sometimes, like I follow different like soap opera profiles and channels and stuff like that, and they made a mention of, Chad and Terry being a new couple. And I was sitting there reading some of the stuff at the bottom, and some of the stuff not even going to get into because I'm just like, wow. Um, but some of the more important comments was, are they actually going to do something with this relationship? Are they just going to sit there and bury it for like 3 and 4 weeks, and then they'll probably sit there and get back into those two? And the main reason I'm saying that is because when you bring these characters on, you make them a couple. It's hard for people to sit there and have an interest or keep interest in these characters if you're not, showing them more. And granted, I get it was the first time, so all right, fine. But like, is it gonna go somewhere other than just like what are we doing? I haven't seen them in but a couple of days, or it felt like a couple of weeks. And I don't know if it's my hectic schedule that's just making time seem like very disoriented, or has he just not shown them in a week? I guess my point is that I hope they do actually invest and showing these two, showing this couple kind of explore, and just kind of really, getting. It's weird because again, I'm not really a coupling person, but I would like to sit there and see their characters progress. So hopefully they will make that happen instead of just kind of putting them at the back burners and just making this the Sonny and Carly show. But time will tell. Um, Sonny and Nina. So Nina is going on and on and on about the drinking, the excessive drinking, and how it's affecting his meds, and also one of the reasons why why his marriage is pretty much in the toilet, and he's heading for a divorce town is because the meds, drinking. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm gonna be honest, it's more than just that. Yeah, I'm not saying that his mental health wasn't an issue, and the fact that he was drinking, he wasn't really taking his meds, definitely had a lot to do with it. But let's be honest, it had also a lot to do with the fact that it was poor choices. Just straight up poor choices. Um, but with that being said, they talk for a little bit, and then Dante comes over. And, Nina decides not to go out there. And at first, Sonny was not there trying to find a way to get rid of him, and then was, trying to be honest with him. And then he left. He found out about Peter. Peter's death. Everyone found out about Peter's death at this point. Um, so when he left, you know, one of the things that Nina said was, "How come you didn't tell me? How come you didn't tell Dante I was here?" And he didn't say anything. And what that comes across as you know, she's a dirty little secret. Now, I wouldn't sit there and say I've been clashing with a lot of people's opinions. Um, because at the end of the day, I'm always going to respect somebody's opinion, even if it's different from mine. And I am so grateful that even when I say stuff that, let's just be honest, sometimes what I say can go kind of left, as far as Nina and everything like that, people don't just, you're stupid because. But with that being said, again, I'm going to, I guess, clash with some people's opinions. Um, Now, there's no secret that I don't like Nina. Okay? If you didn't know I don't like Nina, I don't like Nina. But just because I don't like someone doesn't mean that I doesn't mean that I'm just like I'm cool with just having a free pass of just having said person being disrespected or worse. Um, and then with that being said, you know, Nina shouldn't be someone's dirty little secret. Now, granted, she also did make a choice of not going out there. And, when asked, she was like, oh, I didn't feel like, having a bunch of questions asked at me about Dante and stuff. So part of that was on her. And yeah, if we look back at everything, this whole thing was set in motion by Nina. What she did to Sonny and his family, the disrespect that she had towards Sonny and his family, the fact that she did take advantage of a man with pretty much a blank memory, you know? Yes, all that is very true, and I do not sit there and give that woman a pass. But, the way Sonny's there using her, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not um, a fan of it at all. And again, I know I'm clashing with a lot of people's opinions, but at the end of the day, the way I sit there and try to look at things, I try to look at it from different points of views, or I try to see two sides of something. You know, yeah, what she did was wrong, but at the same time, if I see something or I feel a certain way about something, regardless of how I feel about them, I'm gonna say something. And so yeah, she does wind up leaving. Sunny says she's gonna think about cutting back on the drinking because of him, because that's what he wants to do. And I'm just like, bro, seriously? Like you're cool with hangovers? I don't know. Listen, I'm not a fan of hangovers, and I'm gonna be completely honest that I am pretty much a baby when it comes towards hangovers. Like I don't like to move, I don't like to do anything. I just want to just sit in my bed and try to sleep as much as I can. And I know some people are able to just knock out shots and just go to work next day and just do whatever. I can't do that. I'm not a seasonal drinker, and yeah, like I said, I don't do hangovers well. But I'm sitting there like, bro. I mean, besides all the other stuff that what Nina was saying, as far as like, you want to be clear headed, you don't want the alcohol to mess with your meds, for health reasons. I mean, you're cool with hangovers, like waking up every day just being all blacked out and like. I'm not gonna sit there and make this a PSA, but yeah, Sean Butler. Sean Butler. I have known this character and liked this character since the good old days of the quote unquote Balkan storyline. When everyone found out he was coming back, there was a lot of people that was hyped. I was one of them. I was like, man, I can't wait to sit through to see what he's gonna do, what he's gonna bring to the show. Um, it's gonna be really interesting. Maybe they'll sit there and pair, him up with Jordan. What's gonna wind up happening? I just can't wait. And I'm gonna be completely honest. Besides that whole Naomi Dreyfus thing, his storyline has went nowhere. Even when it was giving him something to do as far as that went, it went nowhere. And then he's just like, oh, cool, I'm going to sit there and be a publisher. Because somehow that fits with my character now. Listen, I'm not saying because he's a big guy or whatever that he should just either be like, an enforcer or whatever, but like the whole newspaper thing just seemed like it came out of nowhere. It seems like something that maybe TJ or Molly would sit there and do, fighting for truth, justice, and the American way or whatever, but like it doesn't really. I just don't picture him being a publisher and news and stuff like that. It just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's just. Anyway, he does sit there and tell after he has a conversation with Alexis briefly about Harmony, saying, "Listen, if you're cool with her, I will do my best to try to tolerate her. As far as like, hey, if you think she changed, then I'm going to believe that you believe it." He tells her that he's gotten some more cash or whatever. I couldn't remember the story, something with Landview. But, he's going to invest it as far as like, spreading out or branching out. And one of the places is going to be San Francisco, meaning that he's going to be leaving the show. I'm just guessing because I didn't read any inside information or anything like that. This is just purely from me watching the show. And when I heard that, I was like, awesome. I am so glad that you brought this character back so he can pretty much do absolutely nothing, bring very little to nothing to the table, and then just leave and not really have much of an impact on anyone. And of course, he does try to shoot a shot with Alexis, which I'm going to be honest, kind of came out of nowhere. I'm like, bro, if you're going to do that, then you should have probably did that like way before. Um, I mean, let's be honest, it's 2022, and you're Alexis's boss. How is that going to look? Like, just on what level, just optic wise? And even if we forgot that, even if, let's just sit there and say we forgot that, now you're going to shoot your shot? Now this is the time to shoot your shot. You want to sit there and try to have a go with Alexis when you're about to move to San Francisco because that makes sense. None of that makes sense. I'm just going to be very clear. None of that makes sense. And this is what they're doing. This is one of those this is one of those signs where it's like, if you're going to bring him back to do this, then what was the point? I mean, obviously, at this point, we can all agree that his character has been wasted. And of course, she says no because, she couldn't get over Neil's death. That happened like a year and a half ago or something. And so she's just more or less kind of sworn off from it. Um, which was another character, I'm going to be honest. Like, the way that they, like, killed him off, like, he's in bed and he decided to shoot up and then just have an OD in her room. And now she just has to, for a while she had to carry that guilt of, her sex killed him. And I actually got to be the one to say that. So, yeah. But yeah, she swears off men, more or less. She's like, yeah, I'm good. I can't sit there and really go there. And, he tries to make a play, but then Sam comes in there and he's like, oh, I got to, like, do stuff that doesn't involve being in here. After Alexis hear about Peter's death, Sam was like, so what's going on with you and, Sean and stuff? Saying that, as far as, her lifetime of knowing Alexis, that was probably the most stable relationship that she's pretty much been in. But again, says no. And, Sam is like, well, it'll be a much better choice than Harmony. I thought you were cool with Harmony. Well, I didn't think you were cool with Harmony, but I thought you were like, if you want to be friends with her, that's fine. So, like, what are you doing? You backslide? You backsliding? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand that. Harmony comes over to the Quartermain's house after talking to Alexis. Alexis like, listen, I just want to make sure you're good. Want to be more support because I know it's the big day. You're gonna sit there and tell your daughter that you're not her bio mom, and I just want to be there for you. So long story short, she does the exact opposite of that, and she's like, "Oh, your birth certificate is going to be, I got some contacts, and I was able to sit there and find it." Now that's kind of odd because Willow's like, "Yeah, that's great, this, that, and the third," but I could have swore that her and Michael had to talk, and Michael, with all his connects, was like, "Yeah, my guy was not there looking into your birth certificate, and he's pretty much telling me that you don't exist." But somehow Harmony is able to get a birth certificate when this guy literally says that you don't exist in like 50 states. I mean, here's the thing. I could have read that whole situation wrong. Um, it could just be lack of sleep from the um, extremely busy work week. So if I did, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure That's what I heard. Anyway, she's all hugs and happy, and it's like, yay, thanks, mom. You're great. You're a super mom, and came through. And even before, even when they left, to go in the room privately, Michael was like, I don't know, she's been a little kind of skittish with Mike, with Monica and stuff. After that, they all find out that Peter's dead, and they, give a toast to Jason. And I don't want to sit there and say I roll my eyes, but I'm just like, that's just, the little we bring him up, the better. Don't get me wrong, I've been watching this channel for a while. You know that Jason is my guy, but I just really don't want to sit there and rehash over that. Um, but yeah, they toast Jason, and then that's it. Um, Now Drew does come over to Carly. Carly would sit there and let him know about Peter's death and everything like that, and you know is also like, listen, I'm glad that we didn't kiss and stuff because I was going through something, you were going through something, and I was like, well, Carly was going through something. Drew, I don't know exactly what you were doing. I don't understand how he. I mean, there's nothing saying he was going through something, but what were you going through? I mean, when you left, poor Charles. I mean, you and Sam, y'all kind of split, and it was like, all right, it is what it is. We're going to be there for the kids, but as far as us is concerned, we're good. But now he comes back and he wants to shoot a shot with Sam, and he's like, yeah, let's, like he wants to be with her, and I'm like, you want to be with the woman that kissed your brother, like less than 24 or something hours after you got married to her, and you cleared the way. Yeah, no, yeah, because that all that makes sense, right? Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Um, After that, Carly's like, oh, wait a minute, Sonny doesn't know. I should be the one to sit there and tell him, but I don't want to sit there and face him. Sweetheart, you got a phone. You could just text him. You could just call him. You don't need to actually go there in person. Ah, who are we kidding? This is plot driven. We're gonna go down there anyway, even though there's so many other ways that Sonny could sit there and hear, um, about the news from Peter. Hell, even Drew's like, yo, listen, I can go there for you. I can sit there and let him know. This way, you don't have to go down there. Since you don't want to see Sonny. Oh, wait a minute, this is plot. Okay, cool. Why don't you come with me? Even though you don't want to go. Yep. I know it's a soap opera, but every now and then, I just gotta sit there and be like, plot versus common sense and just reality. Yeah, we're gonna go with plot. And that's what they do. They go down there, and this is just as Nina is about to leave. And of course, they all run into each other. That should be good. You know, the way that this show was paced out, it seemed like it left so little for Liz to sit there and talk about what's going on with her. I mean, she looked like she's in the fog. Finn comes over. They talk for briefly a little bit. And of course, Sam comes in there and tells, Liz that Peter's dead. And, Liz just like in his fog. Like, well, not in a fog, but she just feels weird or odd. Like, there should be some sort of closure from Peter's death, but no. Um, And the only thing that I can sit there and say that I really didn't like about this scene is that, Sam was like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to have you back. And, because of our kids, we're always going to be connected to Jason, and that's just how it is. And, Liz is like, I got you back too. Now, the reason why I like that scene so much is because I go way back. I go way back where Sam got so upset with Jason or Liz or whatever, I guess. And granted, this was a long time ago, so I don't exactly remember who did what with who. But Sam wanted to get back at Liz, so she decided to want to go out with Lucky. And, Liz was with Jason, so Sam was with Lucky, and I don't know how people felt about that. Um, I did like Greg as Lucky. I really did. I mean, he did a good Lucky, but the fact that they argued and they went back and forth for years, like they could not stand each other for years. And the fact that they got to a point where it's like they're not at each other's throats is amazing. After that, Liz does finally tell Finn that, like there was more to it, like, as far as the dress and everything like that. She does want to calling um, Franco's either mother or adopted mother. I can't. It wasn't Heather Weber, I don't think. She wound up calling either his adopted mother or his mother and saying that, listen, we need to sit there and talk. Could you come out here in person? So we could sit there and talk. Plot. Because in reality, oh, you think I'm going to sit there and spend how much money to sit there and fly back to Portugal so we can talk in person? Yo, we got these things called Skype now. Like, what are you doing? It's 2022. Like, what's going on? Maybe we will get to some point where we do figure out what is going on with Liz. Um, Now, I'm going to sit there and make a prediction. I'm going to sit there and say that she's going through DID. I don't know why I'm saying it. Well, I mean, it would kind of make sense, but I feel like that's what's probably going on with her. If I had to sit there and guess, yeah, I think that's about it. I did talk about Dante coming to let Sonny know about Peter's death and all the other stuff that happened. So I think that's about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I feel like I should add more to it. I don't know if I explained it too well as far as me somewhat trying to defend Nino. Like, I don't like the chick. And I will sit there and try to use one other scenario. I feel like if I don't sit there and say this, then I feel like my video is not complete. But if anyone watches Days, there's a character named Gabby. Now, Gabby annoys me a lot. But there was a point where Gabby was there talking to this character named Chad, and listen, they got history, whatever, fine. They go back and forth with each other because of his wife and what Gabby did to his wife, and yada yada yada. All right, cool. They're arguing, whatever. Mind you, I don't like this chick. Okay, she annoyed me a lot of times. But there was one point where it's like he started getting like aggressive, like he started getting in her face, like he was gonna put hands on her, and I'm like, listen, as much as I don't like this chick, yeah, I'm not feeling the scene. You're a dick. Um, so I guess my point is, even when I don't like someone, there is times where I will sit there and I'll defend them or be like, call out someone's actions, um, against that said person. I don't know if that made any sense, but I think it did. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great weekend.